Good night, Walt. It's out of the barrel. Hope you guys enjoyed my recent show. My last video. I'm going to watch with you guys now because I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired. 3 more days off and I work Wednesday, right? I get Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off and I work next Wednesday. And I get paid Sunday, right? My goal is to not touch my savings, which I should be able to save everything, right? I'll be disciplined, obviously. Tomorrow I can just get a pack of that. I can't get beer tomorrow. I got a pack of smokes tomorrow, right? What are the chances are in our pro league? Not high. Let me move to our VJ. Yeah. 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 Sorry, we're not going to have these athletes dupe you. No. 32 million is enough for the players. That's enough. The league revenue is making enough money, obviously. Yeah. I'm not going to have these athletes dupe me. With far as the league, I'm not going to have the athletes dupe me. Yeah. It's high on like you guys. I'm gonna be a movie star VJ. That's my dream. It's much cheaper. The Pro League would just cost me too much money. Like $33 billion to start the Pro League. Movies for Zanes, I don't have to put $3 billion towards the movie. It's cheaper. I'd rather be a movie star with VJ than be a pro hockey player. Like, duh. Yeah. He's like, yeah, even like being a movie star is much cooler than being a pro hockey. Yeah, that's like special versus visuals. I know. That's why I'm gonna be a movie star VJ. That's why I'm gonna be a movie star VJ. Obviously. Yeah. I might start the league. You never know, right? Yeah. 25 teams. 13 teams in Canada, 12 teams in the States. That's my idea for the league, obviously. Yeah. The board guards will tell me, if you want to have teams in the same cities as some of the NHL teams, you're not competing. Yeah, I'm not competing with the NHL. Fuck the NHL. I'm not competing with the NHL. The NHL can't compete with me. I have the keys. Yeah. I want 13 teams in Canada, 12 teams in the States. Yeah. Yeah, and how much money do you want to put towards the facilities? The arena, $1 billion is enough. I'm not putting it that way. I build 100 facilities for the fans attending, the season ticket holders, and the fans attending games, and the players. A nice locker room, say the art gym, practice arena, and the main arena where the players play the games. Okay, that's already $25 million. $200 million towards the cap for each team. That's $5 billion. I have that, and the other $3 billion I'm putting towards paying all the other employees working in my league. Yeah. And teams' operating budget. Yeah. I'll give for the first season, I'll give each team maybe a $100 million operating budget. That's enough to pay the bills for the hotel cost and the diamond's enough, obviously. And each season, I'll put like 15, 16 billion back into the league, so the league can pay the bills. Obviously, that's enough. 15 billion into the league each season. That's enough, obviously. Not to pay all the players, coaches, GMs, presidents, stat keepers, court managers, play-by-play guys, news reporters. Enough to pay all those guys. One anchor is not to pay everyone their salary. Camera guys, they'll get paid. Obviously, it's not money to pay all those guys. Looking at a lot of employees, you have to pay Ivan, right? It's crazy. It's huge costs. Yeah, that's the thing about the Raw Hockey League. It's huge cost. I can easily afford it. Because I'll be making my like 100 billion, 90, 80 billion a season, something crazy. I can easily afford to put 15 billion of my money back into the league, and the rest of that money I keep. Obviously, goes to me. We'll see. That's why after 20 seasons, I'll have like 1.7 trillion in earnings, something crazy. I made almost like $2 trillion after 20 seasons. Yeah, that's crazy. I know. That's why the Gates want to sell. They don't want making that money. Yeah, Ivan doesn't sell. He has the keys. After 20, 30 years, I'll be a trillionaire. Yeah, me and VJ will be trillionaires. After 20 years, me and VJ will be trillionaires. With VJ's music, my pro hockey thing, me and VJ will be trillionaires. Multi-trillionaires. They don't want me and VJ being that rich. Yeah. Yeah, that's after like 20 years. The Gates make like 20, 30 trillion every year. I'm not making the kind of money the gatekeepers make. They're just greedy pigs. Yeah, we're greedy. They're greedy pigs. I don't want you making your $100 million, Simon. I don't want VJ making your 90, 80, $100 million. I'm envious. That's why they lock the doors on me, VJ. They don't want to have your wealth. They don't want to be that rich, right? Yeah. So I mean, the players are not allowed to make $32 million for 10 seasons. No, they're not allowed to make that. They're not allowed to make that money. It's stupid. Yeah, they make $32 million for 2 seasons. And after 2 seasons, they have to take pay cuts. That's how it works. That's part of the rule for the cap. Every player has to take pay cuts for their contract. For their big contract, they have to take pay cuts. That way, you create cap space for the players. It's very important to us. Yeah. I don't want these hockey athletes stupid. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Or guns will be, yeah, man, your league will blow the NHL water. Yeah, it will blow the NHL water. Blow the NFL water. Barely knew the NFL, NBA, and MLB. Barely knew all those leagues. Crazy. Big pro sport league. Yo, Ivan, man, like, you're a dick, man. If you do that, you're going to crush us NHL athletes. Yeah, they'd be crushed. The NHL athletes. Yo, Ivan, man, I'm Maki Rob. You start that pro league, man, you're going to crush us, man. Like, you start a pro league that blows, blows the NHL water. You pay the athletes more money than what they're making in the NHL. And they're a lot more famous than the NHL athletes. That's why we're going to play shit. Yeah, you're going to crush us, Ivan. The NHL is going to crush. The league blows the NHL water. That's funny, I know. It blows out water in the league. Yeah. Yeah. You have to talk it over with the board of governors, Ivan. Yeah. The rules for the cap, everything. It's very important, right? Yeah. But it's how I like you guys now. I'm going to be movie star VJ. That's my dream. I'd rather be a movie star than being a pro hockey athlete, right? Like, duh, it's much cooler being a movie star than a pro hockey athlete. Less risky, too. The pro hockey thing is just too expensive. It's like 30 something dollars of my money, man. Like, the movies is much cheaper, obviously. I use Xanus, or if my plans get fucked up, I'll do the great say we can Reeves, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Michael B. Jordan. Do the movie, obviously. The Great Escape. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want my $32 million for 10 years. I know you do, but you're not worth that, man. I'm not going to have these athletes to me. Yeah. I'm not going to have these athletes to me. You get paid for what you're worth. That's how it works, right? I'm not going to have these athletes to me. Yeah. Yeah. All right, will the buzz be crazy with you as a role athlete? Oh, yeah. Crazy buzz, man. It's crazy buzz. Crazy buzz, man. The press, the world buzzing about the games. And yeah, is Ivan a good player? They talk about that. I assume he's going to start playing with the other star players. The press conferences is crazy, man. Yeah, man, crazy hype, crazy buzz. That's why these athletes are going to be crushed, obviously. The NHL athletes, right? Yeah, because they miss out on the opportunity, right? It'll finally hit their minds. Yeah, when I was a kid, I dreamed of playing in the NHL. Ivan's born into the world with VJ, and we locked the doors on him. But now we started a pro hockey league better than the NHL. And it'll finally hit them. Yeah, I wish I was born in a new generation and I was drafted in the SHL. I got to be a star player in the SHL instead of the NHL. SHL is better than the NHL. And Ivan can pay us more money than what the NHL can pay us, obviously. Yeah, we're world famous, and I'd rather be a legend in that than the Keeper's NHL. I'm sorry. Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna go upstairs to get some water. I'm thirsty. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you call league Ivan, the Supreme Hockey League. It's better than the NHL, the Supreme, because it's like a monopoly, right? The SHL is like a monopoly of all the big pro sports, so call it the Supreme Hockey League. Well, that's a sick name, yeah. The SHL. It's better than the NHL. The Supreme Hockey. That's a good name for my league, right? Because it's like the big league, the monopoly. So I call it the Supreme Hockey League. There's nothing better than a hockey league. It's a huge pro league which blows even the NHL out of the water. The NHL is a big pro league. It's one of the big four. It generates billions of dollars, but it's not my league, right? My league blows the NHL out of the water. Yeah. Yeah. How much money will we give the players for per dimes? $130 is enough for the per dimes for the away games, and then their hotel cost is paid for too, and their traveling expenses are paid for. They'll be flying on the jet, on the team jet. Team jet will be flying all the players to all the games, and they get $130 for their feeding, to go out to dinner and eat their food. That's a good deal for the players, right? Yeah. $130 is enough. I'm already paying them the millions. $130 is enough for the per dime for each away game, right? Yeah. So players travel, they get like they get their $130 check, $130 of cash. That's for their dinner, their food. But sometimes I'll pay for it. Obviously, I'll pay for it. I'm a billionaire, right? Multi-billionaire, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Right, if you had a choice between doing the Zane's movie or being a pro hockey athlete, what would you choose? It's close, but I'd choose Zanus, man. I'd rather be a movie star. Being a movie star's cooler. And my dream is turning my book into a movie. I wrote The Greatest Fans Novel Ever. I want to turn that into a movie, but I just hope the gates don't delay this till I'm like 50. Otherwise, my plans are fucked because John, Megan, and Vondra and all these guys are all older. I'm no longer good for the movie. They're too old for the movie now. So it's like, yeah. But I'd rather do Zetas than be a pro. Zetas is a great server tool. Everything does with demons. I'm not gonna pass up. I'm not gonna choose being a pro hockey out of the movie. We movies are cool than being a pro hockey out of it. Come on, man. It's greater glory. Duh. Yeah. Being a pro hockey player is glory too. Yeah, that's glory too, but it's not the glory of the movie. Movies is better glory. With the specials and visual effects, yeah. Yeah. Now going back to the CFL, talk for maybe 12 minutes, guys. I'm done, guys. I'm fucking tired. This is my last video. After this video, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. I want to sleep after this. Go to bed and sleep after this, right? Ivan, are you the hope and the voice? Yes, I'm the hope and the voice for the Canadian players in the CFL, obviously. Even though what I did was a bit cold and I heard a lot of the star American players playing in the CFL deserves to be exposed because they've been doing this for 70 plus years of CFL history. They lock all the doors in all their Canadian draft picks. They should bring up all these American guys, have them be the stars up here. And even though there are some Canadian players who are stars, I told you, Canadian players in the CFL have limited windows. If they perform bad, they're going to get replaced with an American player. And they're not going to have an opportunity to start again, most likely. Obviously. Whereas American players in CFL have more opportunities. Obviously, even if they do bad on one team, if they get released, they can get an opportunity they get traded to a different team. And they might have an opportunity to start there. As Bo Levi Mitchell played for the Calgary Stampeders, at one point when he played for the Calgary Stampeders, he was arguably the best quarterback in the league. In his final season, he didn't do that good, and they benched him. Obviously, I think he got traded to the Hamilton Ticats, or he got released. He signed with the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, and now he's the quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, obviously. He left the Calgary Stampeders because he didn't do good. And they benched him. But he got an opportunity to be a starting quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats. He had a good year last season. He was up for the MLP against Nathan Rowe, but Nathan Rowe beat him. Nathan Rowe won the award, obviously, again, over Bo Levi Mitchell. Yeah. You got some Sarah? Yeah. 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 Yeah, thank you, Ivy, for standing up for us Canadian players. Yeah, you're welcome, guys, but it's not going to happen, guys, man. CFL's blind by American talent. They have a bias. They're never going to get rid of the American guys, man. It's not going to happen. But if they interview me for CFL commissioner, I would tell them, I know you guys think I'm crazy. I'm going to throw something wild out there. Like, what? You guys have to get rid of your blindness. You have to get rid of the American guys. And they would laugh at me. I was crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not getting wrong. You have to get rid of them. This is not right. This is Canada. This is a Canadian football brand. Why are you giving all these American guys who are undrafted players in the NFL their time to shine? This is not their league. They never dreamed of playing here. Ivan, the Canadian players are not good enough. No, they're good enough. It's just not on the NFL's level. That's your problem. Yes, they're a bit raw in the way they play, but you're still gonna get entertaining. It's still entertaining football. I've watched many college games. Obviously, university football, college games. It's entertaining football for me. It's not like the NCAA, but it's entertaining enough for me. It's entertaining, but it's not. Yeah, you're trying to be like the NFL guys because you're blinded by that. You're trying to be the NFL Canada. Stop trying to be the NFL Canada. As long as it's good enough for the Canadian people, that's all that matters, right? Even if it's not NFL quality, if it's good enough for people in Canada and you make more money, it worked out for the good. I'm sorry, you can't do that. They're not. Yeah, you downgrade your own Canadian talent. And you don't like the Canadian kids who you draft. Yeah, we don't like them, Ivan. Like they're not talented. They're not like the American guys. We're not going to let these Canadian players shine up here when they're not as talented as these undrafted guys. No, Ivan, you have to bring the undrafted guys down to shine up here. Yeah, but CFL, they're not your draft picks, man. These players you didn't draft in the league. They're just guys you bring up here from different countries. They're not your draft picks, CFL. The only league that does this, right? You grow your league with players who are not draft picks. I don't know. Yeah. That's why when when all these star players in the CFL make all these amazing plays, obviously the play-by-play guys don't say they're draft picks. They just say they play at this NCAA school and they signed in the CFL. They're not draft picks. Obviously, they're undrafted free agents, right? Undrafted free agents in the NFL, but they're not undrafted free agents in the CFL because the CFL's not for them. In the CFL, they're guys who are the CFL brings up around negotiations. They're undrafted guys in most cases from the NFL or NFL cuts. Those are the stars that arrive, and that's cool. It's weird, man. I always found it weird. Why are all those guys shining over your best Canadian players? Well, your draft picks, guys who are on the practice roster in the NFL cuts, undrafted guys in the States. They're the stars up here, and guys who become your legend CFL over your greatest Canadian players who ever play the game in Canada, or your draft picks. I don't get it, Ivan. The reason why we do that, man, they're not good enough, Ivan. We don't like the Canadian kids. We're not going to have those guys besides Ivan. The American guys are shot. Yeah, the CFL's crazy about American talent. Ivan, that's cold. I know. And because you want to grow, because you're bringing up all these American guys who never do play in your league, that's why I find your league very weird and irregular in the way you grow it. Because no league grows a league this way, where all your legends in your league, the majority of legends in your league are players who never dreamed of playing in your league CFL. They happen to be legends in your league by default. They never dreamed of playing in your league. Never dreamed of being a CFL legend. So it's very irregular and weird when you think about it. You honor all these guys to the Canadian people, but these American guys dreams not playing here. Like, no American football player thinks about the CFL when they play football and says no. Their dream is playing in the NFL. They're only here because they get an opportunity. They're undrafted, or they're on the practice roster, or they got cut from the NFL. That's why they're here. Obviously, otherwise they never would have been here, right? So it's a very weird way of going to pro league, man. Alright, that's fucking weird. Very weird, obviously. It's a very weird way of going to pro league, right? Yeah. The Canadian players in the CFL who are star players, obviously, they're obviously happy because they're successful in their own pro league in Canada, but they're not stupid. They know if their performance dips, man, they can lose their job, their starting job, obviously, and they replace them with an American player. That's the problem with the CFL. Even though a lot of these quite a bit of Canadian players are stars, a little bit of Canadian players are stars, if their performance dips, they're done, man. They're not going to get another opportunity to be a star again. That's why there's barely any Canadian football legends in the CFL, except for the linemen. Quite a bit of linemen get inducted into the Hall of Fame, but linemen is a non-skill position, right? Yeah, no one really cares that much about the linemen. They're non-skill positions. Yeah. 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 Ivan, do you think the CFL players are underpaid? Yes, they are. They deserve more. They're not worth their millions, but they deserve a bit more money because they're pro players. They deserve a raise, but the league can't afford to pay the players more money because they're not doing enough money in revenue. They're only peaking at $300 million. The league can't afford to have a $9 million cap. They can't afford that. Right now the caps are like 6.2 million per team in the CFL. Can't afford to raise it because they're not generating enough money, right? If the league generates 500 in revenue, they can raise the cap to like 9 million, and the players in the CFL can get a nice raise. Like quarterbacks can now make a million, million two in the CFL, like 700, 600K to 1.2 million. Receivers can peak at 600K in the CFL. A lineman 500, 600K. Defensive players can peak at like 400, 450K in the CFL. The good players can make like 200K in the CFL. That's how much star players make in the CFL. Star players make like 200K in the CFL, 300K, 250, 100,000, 150K in the CFL. The star players make. Yeah, in the CFL. Yeah. 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 So it's the blindness, yes. The best name players are talented, obviously. They're very talented players. But like when you compare it to the NFL, the best American players, the CFL season is a letdown. It's not on the same quality as the best players in America playing in the NFL, and that's why they have the envy. And they can't get the best players. They just bring in the leftover guys. I'm sorry, Ivan. The American players playing as a league are so talented. We're not going to have these best name players shine up here, and those players don't have are not people with football. No, no, no. Locker wasn't our best name players. Got to bring up these guys. Yeah, but CFL, they're not a Canadian, and they're not your draft picks. They're just guys you pick up here from your negotiation list. It's very weird. These are the people who are marketing people to Canada they know nothing about, and who the CFL and TSN panel talks about. The sport anchors talk about. They market all these players who no one in Canada knows anything about, and they're not your draft pick CFL. They're just guys you bring up here for a different country. They're not draft picks. Like no pro league grows a league like that. Like every pro league grows a league with their draft picks. CFL's the only guys to do that. The reason why we do that, the Canadian players are not good enough. We have to be able to American guys. Let's see what does that. Yeah. That's why you can't take league seriously. Yes, because all the legends in the CFL are not draft picks. They're just players the CFL brings up here from a different country. They're not the CFL's draft picks, most of the legends. They're all these American guys who are not draft picks who they bring up here from a different country, who never dreamed of being a CFL Hall of Famer or a CFL legend. And these are the people who the CFL honors and they induct into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. It's very weird. They honor them like with the jerseys and everything. Like it's a very irregular way of running a league, man. The Jews not playing here CFL. Yeah, and they're not the best players who ever played the game from America. That's why I also find it weird too. Obviously, they honor this CFL legend, but I know the CFL legend is a guy who got cut from the NFL or like was on a practice roster. It's like it's tough to take things seriously. Obviously, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, they killed up here, but like, they're not the best players who ever played the game from the States, right? So that's another reason. And these are the people they induct in the Hall of Fame. It's very weird, man. I don't even mean asshole. It's just the truth. It's a weird way of growing a pro league. No pro league grows a league this way. CFL. I don't mean to hurt all the American football legends who played up here. I respect your job here, but the way the CFL is growing the league is very, very weird. No league grows league this way. It's very, very weird, honestly. It's a weird way of growing a pro league, right? Yeah, I was yeah, it's fucking weird. Weird. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of these legends at the CFL marks the Canadian people, they use the CFL as a farm league. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these American players, when they come up here, they use the CFL as a farm league to get an NFL shot. And some of them end up in the NFL and they get cut from the NFL and they come back to the CFL. And once they come back to the CFL, they choose to stay here. And they don't go back to the NFL. They just choose to stay up here and they become legends up here. But it's a very weird way of going a pro league. Like their dream's not playing for CFL. Their dream's playing in the NFL. It's not playing in the CFL. So it's very weird to me personally. Let's honor this CFL legend today. Like it's weird. And I can't take it seriously. That's funny. I know. I don't hate him. I don't. Uh, well, I mean, is the CFL a minor league? No, it's not. It's not a minor league. The CFL is a professional football league in Canada. It's not a minor league, but a lot of people see it as a minor league because a lot of the players playing in the CFL use the league as a developmental league to get their NFL shot. That's why a lot of people see it as a minor league. It's not a minor league, but it's its own pro league in Canada, but some people see it as a minor league because the American players who are undrafted from the States, they use the CFL as a farm to get an NFL shot. That's why some people do see it, the CFL as a little bit as a minor league, obviously, even though it's not a minor league. Isn't Sarah? Yeah. But see what's going on. We don't care if like people see our league as a minor league guy and he's American. Yeah, the CFL is crazy, man. They're blind by the yeah. We don't care, man, if people see it as a minor league. We bring up the undrafted guys up for Ivan. They're very talented, and we gotta have those guys come here and put on a show, Ivan. Yeah. Yeah, but CFL is not how you grow a pro league. You don't grow a pro league with undrafted players. You grow a pro league with your best talent who you draft, not undrafted players from a different country. That's not how you grow a pro league. Players who are undrafted who never want to play in your league. These are the people who you honor as your legend CFL. The Canadian people. It's very weird, man. Oh, that's funny. I know. It's weird, man. I always find it weird when they do that, right? Let's honor this man today. Yeah, it's amazing they killed up here, but their dream was not playing your league CFL when they were kids, man. When they played football, they didn't think about the CFL when they were kids. They just happened to be a legend in your league because that's why you're legends in your league. Oh, that's funny. I know. It's funny, man. Yeah. But maybe there's a reason why the CFL does. I know it's a bit weird in the regular way we grow our league. We have no choice, Ivan. The Canadian players aren't good enough. We have to grow with the American players, Ivan, who are undrafted. They're not good enough. CFL has no choice. That's why they do that, obviously. And they don't like the Canadian kids. Yeah, we don't like the Canadian kids, Ivan. We like the American kids more. That's why they bring up the American kids up here to shine. Yeah. I hope he grows. I could be wrong, right? Yeah. Awesome. Anyways, guys, this is where guys on the show. It's Ivan. I think I'll peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the show, man. Take a shot. Enjoy it, guys. Peace out. Don't